Antichrist hero. The beast Antichrist sacking the Jews and Jerusalem turns into the world cheering on the beast. The Antichrist becomes a hero. The nations have turned upon the Jews, and thus when the Antichrist sacks Jerusalem, everybody of the kingdoms of the world are going to be excited and thrilled, who have been angered by the Jews. In Revelation chapter 17, verse 5 through 18, we see that Jerusalem, the whore, has dominion over the kings of the earth and the nations, and the nations become hostile towards the Jews. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. The woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. So we see here the Jews pushing to build their temple and provoking the nations to anger. They end up turning on Jerusalem, and Jerusalem ends up being sacked by the Gentiles of the world. Revelation chapter 11, verse 1 and 2 says, And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood, saying, Rise, and measure the temple of God, and the altar, and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread under foot 42 months. So when the nations rise up against the Jews for pushing the third temple, and the kings of the earth agree to sack Jerusalem, and that's what's written in the book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 12 and 13. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. So we see that these kings of the earth agree to give the beast the power to take away the rule of the Jews from Jerusalem by sacking Jerusalem. Thus, Jerusalem will lose its prestige by the power of the Jews and be granted that the Gentiles rule from Jerusalem with the beast. Revelation chapter 17, verse 16 says, And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. They will then thus make the Antichrist their hero. Revelation chapter 13, verse 17 says, And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. So they give the power of the beast over all the nations. And when they bow their knee to the beast, and this is the sign of worship, when a man would go before a king and bend their knee before the king, it was actually the word where we get the word worship. That's where that prostration came from. That's the term, and where it originated. When people would go before a king and they would bow before the king and put a knee down, it would be a sign of worship to that king. And so when we see the word worship in the prophecies, it's not like somebody raising their hands and closing their eyes and worshiping like Christians worship. What ends up occurring is it's just meaning that you're submitting to the kingship of that leader and bowing before that leader as a ruler. And that's why it says in the book of Exodus chapter 20, in verse 4 and 5, it talks about the idols and the images when the people would bow before them. They would show homage by bowing before the idol. And that's being done today through different idols, but in essence, that's the same thing that they'll do to the beast, the king. He will end up having his people that he has dominion over bow before him as a king. Revelation chapter 13, verse 18 says, And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. They all submit to his kingship. They submit by bending their knee to him in adoration. And all those peoples, nations, and languages in whom the beast has power over, that they follow him in his adoration, they will be angry at the prophets prophesying against the beast and his kingdom. They will be angry. And so they will rejoice at the death of the prophets, those people of the nations, kindreds, and tongues. Revelation chapter 11, verse 9 says this, And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put into graves. These are the same people that the beast has power over in Revelation chapter 13, verse 7, where it says, And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And these are the people who rejoice at the death. At Revelation chapter 11, verse 10, it says, And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth. So in essence, when you oppose their world hero, they're going to vilify you. They're going to say all manner of evil against you. They're going to say that you are extremist, that you're part of an end times apocalyptic cult, by pointing fingers at their hero and how dare you. And they're going to rejoice at your death. That's the way it works. Revelation chapter 13 says, "And they worshiped the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him?" The rise of the Antichrist and his military might.
They cannot imagine what they have awakened. They cannot conceive of the army that they have arisen in all of us. You have no idea the dragon you have awakened.
The dragon you have awakened. The dragon you have awakened.
You have no idea how determined we will be to save this civilization, to save the West.
Revelation chapter 13 verse 4, "And they worshiped the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him?" All the people of the earth have been brainwashed into Zionism to believe that the Israeli army is the most powerful army on the earth and the most powerful technocratic, and God's with them in their army, and nobody could defeat their army because God's with them, right? So when they're sacked, and if the beast army could sack God's army and God's people, hey, the beast must have some major power more than God, right? Bigger than God's army. Or God must be with him. And they say, who can make war with the beast? So much that they create an image and an idol for him. Revelation chapter 13, verse 12 and 13 says, "And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men." And this is the false prophet who tells everybody in remembrance to make an image to the beast. The false prophet is saying, hey, we're going to make an image to him. The world religious leader, the fake Jesus, the seat of the Pope, the role of the Pope. Revelation chapter 13, verse 14, about the false prophet, says, "And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by the sword and did live." Artificial intelligence powered a hologram, 3D image of the beast, technology that will speak in his likeness.
And Marvel fans, this one's for you. An immersive hologram experience with Marvel legend Stan Lee is making its debut at LA Comic-Con.
But now fans have the opportunity to speak with the pioneer all through AI technology.
It's great to be back at conventions like this, surrounded by fellow Marvel fans and enthusiasts. Excelsior!
Revelation chapter 13, verse 15, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed." What you will see is that same one, the same false prophet who helps create this idol, this artificial intelligence powered image that can speak and decree religious laws, this image will have artificial intelligence regulations set upon religious standards set forth by that Pope, by that false prophet. He will be the one that's bringing forth people to bring forth AI regulations that will set global standards for religious persecution or religious interpretation. All of these things are going to be focused on the role of the Pope, which is the backbone for the heart of that artificial intelligence, which will speak those things and cause people that would not worship the image to be killed. Those who speak against the beast, those who speak against the false prophet, those who decree a religious interpretation that does not fit and match their artificial intelligence scheme that they've set forward for their religious laws. Somebody who's blasphemed according to the religious blasphemy codes that they've been programmed into that AI, set forth by the regulations and the lead of the Vatican with the Pope, who sits in the seat of the role of the false prophet, who dedicates the image to the beast, who speaks. All of this is here. It's ready. We're on the door. We're right at the door. We're right on the doorstep. The world will take their Antichrist hero and follow him. And those who oppose will be with us under the banner for the 1260 days. And this is the prophecy of the Antichrist hero.